Hey, this is Nestor Nidome here, and I get asked this question so many times, and which is, how do you get all these your ideas to blog about? Where is that information coming from to be able to blog every single day? And it's pretty simple, and the reason I get so many ideas is because I'm always working on myself. Okay, I'm always working on myself, which has to do a lot with my business. So what I do is usually in the mornings I tune into the morning mindset call, which is a Think and Grow Rich call, and that's where I get a lot of inspiration, a lot of motivation, and also a lot of note taking. So I take a lot of notes there. I also get involved in webinars. I read books. I listen to the Inner Circle audios. So I'm always feeding my mind with great information, and at the same time I'm always taking notes. Very important to take notes, because usually, yeah, you absorb that information, but sometimes we tend to forget it, and if we write it down, it ingrains into our brains a little bit more, because you're actually physically doing something about it. So excuse me. So once that's done, now at least for that day, and for many days actually, from one day, I have all these motivational, inspirational, all this information that I can actually use to start including into my blog post. So that's how I get most of my information. Is usually I'll be watching some sort of video, or I'll be learning something, and I'll get inspired, and I'm like, hey, you know what? That's a great idea for a blog post. For instance, the question of like, hey, where do you get all this information? This is gonna be another blog post. So there's another idea for me to be able to do a blog post for today, and at the same time, it's giving value for people who are new in the industry, who really don't know where to get information, and all of a sudden they have a mental block. But if you're always working in your craft, you will never have mental blocks. So, for instance, if you have you're in another home-based business or in another type of business, there should be some sort of training that you can go to, some sort of training that you can listen to, audios, videos that you can use from that business for you to be able to blog. Okay, so there should always be something. For instance, when I used to have my restaurant, I always got the restaurant magazine, and I always got all these other types of magazines that had to do with restaurants. So if at that time I would have been blogging, which I wasn't actually, which I should have, it would have improved my customer base. I would have attracted a lot of other customers who will be interested in the same type of restaurant kind of the restaurant industry, because you see those shows like Food Network. I mean, they get tons and tons of followers, right? They get a lot of viewers. Where are they getting those ideas, right? So that's what you can do as a restaurant owner. You can attract that same amount of people. Just make it about your restaurant, right? And that's what you want to do. You want to entertain. You want to do something. So no matter what business, even in real estate, hey, what's going on in the real estate, right? Your blog could be about different laws, different rules, how you buy your first house, and you can even like segment it. You don't have to put everything. You don't have to give the whole thing away in one blog, right? So if some information you can segment it, hey, that could be a whole week's worth of blogs. Okay, so that could be something like for real estate agent, for retail. Clothing is fashion. So sorry about that, guys. I'm driving right now, so I'm turning right here. But this just shows you that you can actually make a video or blog wherever you want, right? So the idea about it is that if you do have like a retail store, you can blog about the latest fashions, right? Because and what's gonna do that's gonna keep your customers engaged and coming back and all the time to your website instead of somebody else's. Because if you're keeping up with the latest fashions, that's your website. So you have control over the ads on the side. You have control over what's going on, the links that are in there. So if you're selling like t-shirts or pants or clothing, and you're always talking about the latest fashions, right? Or what's going on in Europe, what's going on, you're attracting, you keep them in there, right? So that's another idea that you can have in order for you to be able to blog about that. But what I challenge you right now is actually the next time that you're in your industry, no matter what industry you are in, I challenge you to take some notes, and get at least five ideas for the next 5 days that you can start blogging. Okay, that you can start blogging. So blog about whatever you're learning, and that's your passion or your industry or your business. So I challenge you to do that. The next time you're gonna start getting a blockage, learn something, take some notes, and start. I even challenge you to do it today, so you can do your first blog post today if you haven't done it. With that, my friend, thank you for joining me on this video. If you do like it, I would love to be able to see what your thoughts are. Put your comments on the bottom of this video, and if you do like it, go ahead and share it with all your friends. Share it with all your friends. Make sure that they get this message out there of how to blog. All right, thank you, my friend. This is Nestor, and I'll catch you on the next video.